Hello everybody, this video is going to be a little different from the kind of content I planned for this channel, but it's a video I've been meaning to make for 4 or more months now. It's a video about somebody who groomed me when I was 11 to 12-ish. I want to get this out of the way before we get into evidence and stuff. MELOUCAN was 16 at the time. She was a minor, however, just old enough to qualify for the diagnostic criteria for pedophilia. The age gap that's most often cited as necessary for a relationship to be considered pedophilia is 5 years. Me and MELOUCAN are 4 years and 10 months apart, which is roughly 10 months away from 5 years, if my math is right. Basically, what I'm trying to say is although my age during all of this was in a limbo area, I was still prepubescent, which aligns with the definition of pedophilia. You can come to your own conclusions about this if you may. However, regardless if you think it was pedophilic due to the couple-month discrepancy, it was certainly predatory grooming of a prepubescent by a post-pubescent. Now to get into what she actually, did. MELOUCAN was someone who I looked up to. She was a YouTuber with, to me as a child, seemed like a lot of subscribers. I met her through a mutual friend who was actually dating MELOUCAN at the time. This friend was 12 at the very early stages of their relationship and turned 13 during it. MELOUCAN had them lie and say they were 14 so that they could be public about their relationship. I don't really remember a lot of our friendship. Clearly there were rough patches where she got extremely angry at me, as evident by this drawing she made of me. I sent this screenshot to Nani, who is a friend of MELOUCAN's and was an adult, and she did not help and just told me not to share private DMs, and that MELOUCAN drawing art of her hanging and potentially torturing / cutting me if the ropes on the legs and the knife in her hand are any indication is normal. Is normal for people her age. Whatever happened to provoke that image being drawn, MELOUCAN got over it as she started to flirt with me and would often tell me she loved me. She was very aware of our age gap and expressed that she wished I was older or that people didn't already know my real age so that I could lie about it and we could become official and public. She said that our love was forbidden and that society is keeping us apart, etc. She even directly acknowledges that it's illegal. At some point, she's even like, but it's fine, it's not like I'm gonna rape you or something, so it's like, it's whatever. She would send me porn, including rape porn, that she claims now is BDSM, even though, as you can see in the screenshot, I was the one who gave her the idea of claiming it was BDSM, and it was clearly drawn with the intention of it being rape. She would also encourage me to draw porn. A lot of screenshots are lost because of the main account that I used during all of this is now locked. Even though I remember the password for both the Discord account and the email, I can't get in because I've moved address, so it doesn't recognize my location. And I didn't have a phone at the time, so I can't just phone number verify it because I was fucking 12 years old. The only screenshots I have from this account are either from my Mac, from my old Mac, or from other people. So keep in mind, all of these screenshots, as many as there are, these are only from the very end. So there were months of this kind of stuff happening beforehand that I don't have documented. So who knows what other stuff happened, because I surely don't, because I barely remember anything. All I know is that we definitely did talk romantically on my old account, specifically because of the screenshot that I found on my Mac where I'm expressing interest to someone my age and she says, "No, you're mine." And I took a screenshot of it because I was super OMG. Eventually, she told me that we had to stop because as much as she loved me, it was illegal and we should just be good friends. Of course, I was devastated by this. I was upset and angry at her for giving me all this love and affection and then ripping it out from under me. She again cited the law and said it's illegal, we can't be together, even though the damage had clearly already been done. She did not take well to me being upset about her leaving me at all. At first, she was like, "I'm so sorry, I messed up, I know why you're upset." And then she was extremely aggressive, called me pathetic, and was overall just extremely guilt-trippy, and then said that I was being guilt-trippy for being sad, I guess. Eventually, we drifted apart and life went on. That was until 2021 when I was looking through art of a YouTuber I like, MoneyCats. I noticed she made art for MELOUCAN and DM'd them saying that Mel groomed me with a couple screenshots that I had, which aren't as many screenshots as I have now, and that I thought they should be aware. MoneyCats told MELOUCAN what I said, and MELOUCAN found my Discord that MoneyCats says they did not give her, by the way, so MoneyCats says they did not give my Discord away. MELOUCAN just somehow managed to find it, and I'm not really sure how. I rejected her friend requests, so she sent her partner to DM me instead. Her partner at the time, anyway. I told them I did not want to talk about it, but beyond that, I didn't take any screenshots, and unfortunately, my account is deleted. I do remember it, though, for what it's worth. I was scolded into apologizing over and over, and promising never to tell anybody again. Here are some screenshots of me in distress over being yelled at, because that's really the only evidence I have for this happening. Then once again, life went on. Until this year, when I went looking through my old Discord account for old art, I found our DMs from when I was 12 and evidence that I never had before to prove that what I had said about Mel was true. I made a post about it on Twitter. The partner of hers at the time that she used as a messenger to yell at me through DM'd me and apologized, and actually brought to my attention that Mel had been telling them that I flirted with her and she never flirted back, and that's why I was mad. She apparently told multiple people this lie, including the person that screenshot was just of. That person wasn't the ex. Suddenly, now that it was public, instead of yelling at me into silence, she responded to it with a frankly very bad apology, where she lied about what age I was at the time. She said I was 12 to 13, even though I was 12, and detailed her own traumas. She also lied about the age that she was when she was dating that mutual friend that I mentioned earlier, saying that she was 15 and the friend was 13, which is impossible given how MELOUCAN's 16th birthday was before my friend's 13th. I publicly commented pointing out how she got my age wrong, and she fixed it. However, my friend pointed out how she got her age wrong, and she didn't change it, which goes to show how she will only fix or apologize for something when it's made public and she is literally forced to. After I posted it on Twitter, somebody came to my DMs letting me know that Mel did something similar to them, where they were 13 and Mel was 16. They were close to turning 14 in February of the next year, but Mel was also close to turning 17 in April of the next year. So, yeah, 14 and 17 is a little bit of a weird age gap in my opinion. I also think it's interesting that she says everybody turns out to be 12, even though all the people I'm aware of her liking that were 12, she was well aware that they were 12 before she ever got romantically involved with them, including me. She did not just turn out to be 12. She knew long before. She was also extremely sexual and romantic towards another 12-year-old. This person would draw lots of porn for her, which she loved. And she overall would just have extremely sexual conversations with them and would express romantic attraction towards them as well. Even going as far to ask if they're single and stuff like that. There was also another 12-year-old who Mel was romantic with, who I'm pretty sure does not want to be named either. So who knows how many there are. So obviously, with all of this information coming forward to me, plus with her lying about my age and age in the document, I didn't accept her apology. I told her I did not accept it, and she doesn't even address all the shit she did. She only addresses the shit that was called out publicly, none of the stuff that people messaged me about after and were private. And I feel like if she was actually genuinely sorry for all the harm that she caused, she would have come forward with this information and brought it to the public's attention, even though her victims didn't. She didn't even have to name them if she was worried about their privacy. She could have just said, this stuff happened to other 12-year-olds. I did this to other 12-year-olds and a 13-year-old, and I'm sorry. But she didn't, because why would she take accountability for something that she wasn't forced to be taking accountability for? A friend of hers literally DM'd me on Discord to tell me about how I should at least acknowledge her apology, or I guess acknowledge that she's sorry, even though I did acknowledge her apology. And in my acknowledgement, I said I didn't forgive her, but I guess that's not enough. They wanted me to not just acknowledge her apology, but acknowledge how sorry she is and how awful she feels. And even went as far to tell me that she's sobbing on call right now because of how awful she feels. It was definitely an attempt at manipulation. It was definitely an attempt for me to feel bad for her. But unfortunately, I'm not 12 anymore, and I can recognize such obvious manipulation. Basically, it's very obvious she's not sorry, and she never was sorry. This is obvious by how she lied to her partner in 2021 when I tried to come out about it, how she lied about my age in the document, how, like, more than half, I think, of her document is about her and her past experiences, and how they made her hypersexual, and how she only apologized to me in document even though there were several other victims. She says in her document that she just forgot about it, and the screenshots are what it took to remind her of it. But I don't fucking believe her, because if that were the case, she wouldn't have yelled at me until I promised never to tell anybody again in 2021, because if it's true that she didn't remember it at all, then why did she remember that I flirted with her, but seems to have conveniently blocked out that she flirted back? Because clearly she remembered enough to tell Scarlett, oh yeah, they flirted with me, but I did nothing back. No, Mel, you remembered very well. That's why you yelled at me until I promised to never tell anybody again and apologized over and over, because you knew it was true, and you knew that if it got out publicly, you would be in big trouble, because it's true. In 2021, I didn't have much proof to back me up besides my own word and that one screenshot where you said, no, you're mine. That was all I had. But I knew it happened, which is why I tried to tell people, because I knew it happened, and you knew it happened. Because I didn't have that much proof at the time, you figured, why should I take accountability? Nobody's gonna believe them, so I may as well just tell everybody they're lying and that they flirted with me, but I didn't flirt back. Much easier that way, isn't it? But then I did find more proof. Concrete proof that you couldn't deny. And I told people about how you yelled at me into silence and promising I would never tell anybody. The only way you could think to save face was to make a document where you apologized and where you claimed that you didn't remember it, and that's why you yelled at me, because you genuinely believed that it didn't happen. But unfortunately for you, your ex-girlfriend came forward to me and told me that you did remember that time period. You did remember when we had romantic interactions. Anyways, that is about it, I guess. Thank you for watching, and Mel, if you are watching this, hi, I guess.